Okay, I'm here at Dorothy Kerns' house. Dorothy and I have been friends for years. Not many years, of course. We're pretty spry women.
About 44.
Oh, is it that long?
Yeah.
Well, Dorothy and I both came to Menard about the same month in 1970. Each were driving a blue Ford station wagon with a wiglet on her head. And we each had boys. I had 3 and she had 4. And that's when our story begins. So, Dorothy, you went to work at the newspaper, didn't you?
I did, in this August the 1st of 1970.
Okay. Well, and who was running the paper?
David Young was the publisher-owner for 2 years, and then Dan Feather bought it then.
Yeah. Well, did you have to set type in those days?
I did. I had to use a Selectric typewriter.
Well, now, was that actually set the type? You didn't do it?
Well, part of it.
Pick it up? Or?
Now, Dan used the back shop very short period. David used it more on the linotype. And then I had to hand set headlines in the back. And then we got to the Selectric typewriter. Then we got to the big blue CompuGraphic. That was our first computer type thing.
Is that Aqua machine?
Yeah, that great big old thing.
That was scary.
Yes.
No, I worked.
Now they use just Macs. We've always used Macs.
Well, I worked for y'all about a year part-time when you had surgery one time, and that was a hard job. I don't know how you've done it after all these years. Of course, you've been retired a few years now.
I have, 4 years.
Are you enjoying your retirement?
I am on the whole. Stan still lets me write a little bit, but I can do it at home and email it to him.
Yeah, well, we enjoy your columns.
Which means I don't have to go in the office at a certain time.
And I know you enjoy the public.
I do.
We had some wonderful public when I worked there.
I'm going to give a program at the April the 10th library lunch and a story.
Oh, good.
And I'm talking about working at the newspaper.
Great. I'm going to write that down on my calendar.
Okay.
Well, okay, now you went to early school in Mason.
I was born and raised in Mason through the 9th grade.
And you were Chris. No, excuse me. Keith. You were Keith.
I was a Keith.
You were a Keith, and you're kin to some Crisp. I know you go to a reunion.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the Keith reunion.
Okay.
And some Crisp go to the Keith.
Oh, okay.
There's about 80 usually.
Yeah.
For a weekend in early June.
Well, tell me about your 4 boys.
Steve, Scott, Don, and David, pretty common names. Steve lives in Haskell, Scott in the Fort Worth area, Don in Booker, Texas, up on the Oklahoma border, and David in Crowell, which is near Vernon and Wichita Falls.
Well, now brag a little and tell me about Steve's son having a master's degree in whatever.
In environmental management. He works for the state.
Tell him he's not in charge of our ditch, is he?
No, he's in a different district,
okay.
But he does work for TCEQ.
We'll put in a good word for us. And then, David...
David has been a paramedic now for 20-some-odd years.
Okay.
And will graduate at Vernon College in May with a registered nurse degree.
That is wonderful. And going up the ladder, we'll go to Don next. He's the city manager.
City administrator in Booker, Texas. And his wife, Stephanie, is a business manager with a small school district up there.
That's wonderful. No doubt they took after you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Scott now.
Owns 3 18-wheelers in the Fort Worth area, and his wife is Senior Vice President with J.P. Morgan Chase in the mortgage department.
That sounds good. And then Steve.
It has lots of health issues, and he can only work part-time, and his wife is an LVN.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Steve, but he looks like he's really doing well.
He is doing much better, but he has to be really, really careful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I hope this new camera works.
I do, too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Now can you replay it?